Pod, you're gonna go ahead and grab a flower and stand. I know you were just getting right, but you gotta stand up for me to start off with. Om Shri Padmatmani Namaham. Namaste, devotees, and Jai Sita Ram. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to our Sunday morning satsang. This very rainy but still beautiful January 22nd, 2023. As we commence with our puja for today, devotees, I ask that we join together as we go ahead and clasp our hands and close our eyes. Take a deep breath in, fill your lungs entirely, and as you exhale, relax your spine, drop your shoulders, relax your neck, your forehead, and your entire body. With your eyes remaining closed, I want you to focus on a form of Bhagwan that's most pleasing to you, one that helps you concentrate, one that helps you focus, and join together with me as we chant our opening prayers. Om Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnata Purnamudachyati Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyati Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktina Bhunjita Ma Krudhakasya Sudhanam Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. We offer prayers to Prithvi Mata as we bless and sanctify the seat unto which we sit. Om Samudra Vasane Devi Parvatastane Mandite Vishnu Patni Namastubhyam Padasparasham Kshamaswame. Om Prithvi Tvaya Dratha Devi Tvam Vishnu Nadratha Tvam Shadharya Mam Devi Pavitram Kuruchasanam. Om Shri Prithvi Devaya Namaham. Going to place a flower down on the altar and take a seat. Go ahead and take some water in your right hand and wash your hands. Om Hasta Prakshalanam Samarpayami. Govindaya Namaham. We sip water 3 times to purify the body. Om Amrito Pastaranamasi Swaha. Om Amrita Pidhanamasi Swaha. Om Satyam Yashaha Shri Mai Shri Shrayatam Swaha. You wash your hands again. Om Apavitra Pavitravam Sarvavashtam Gatopivaha Yaha Smerit Pundarikaksham Sabhayabyam Tada Shuchiyum. Om Chandanasya Mahat Punyam Pavitram Papanashanam Aparam Harati Nityam Lakshmi Stishtate Sarvadaum. We're going to take some water into our left hand now as we join together and commencing with Ang Sparsh as we bless the various parts of our body. Om Wangmeyasyasu. We ask, O Lord, by grace, may my tongue be ever blessed with the power of speech. Om Nasoramai Pranurastu. We ask, O Lord, may my nostrils be blessed with healthy, vital air. Om Akshoramai Chakshurastu. We ask, O Lord, may my eyes be blessed with perfect power of vision. Om Kanyorame Shrotamastu. We ask, O Lord, may my ears be blessed with the power of hearing. Om Bahorame Balamastu. We ask, O Lord, may my arms be blessed with strength. Om Urhorame Ojavastu. We ask, O Lord, may my legs be blessed with vitality. Om Marishtani Miyangani Tanistarwame Sahasantu. We ask, O Lord, may all the other parts of my body be safe from harm, rendering them healthy and sound for life's daily work. Go ahead and take another flower in your hand, any color. And devotees, we join together now as we commence enchanting the most powerful Gayatri Mantra. Om Magakshe Varade Devi Akshare Brahmavadini Gayatri Jagate Matare Vishwayoni Namostute. Om Bhode Bhuva Swaha Tatsavitur Bharenyam Bhargone Vasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayata. Om Bhode Bhuva Swaha तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूरे भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् हरि ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम प्रेम से बोलो गायत्री माता की जय. Go ahead and take a red flower in your hand next. Then devotees, we join together now as we offer praise and obedience. This is that creator, that remover and destroyer of all obstacles in our life. We offer praise to Lord Ganesh. Om Shri Ganapataye Namaha. Om Yajananam Bhuta Ganadhi Sevitam Kapita Jambhu Palachara Bhakshanam Umasutam Shoka Vinashakarakam Namami Viganeshwara Pada Pankajam Namami Viganeshwara Pada Pankajam. I now request that the Kirtan group offer one bhajan dedicated to Lord Ganesh as we commence with our puja up front.
Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva Mata Jake Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva Mata Jake Parvati Pita Mahadeva. एकदंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी एकदंत दयावंत चार भुजाधारी माते पतिलक सोहे मूसके सवारी माते पतिलक सोहे मूसके सवारी पान चरे फूल चरे और चरे मेवा पान चरे फूल चरे और चरे मेवा लडवन का भोग लगे संत करे सेवा. जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा माता जाके पार्वती पिता महादेवा. अंदन को आंख देत कुरियन को काया अंदन को आंख दे कुरियन को काया बंजन का पुत्र देत निर्जन को माया बंजन का पुत्र देत निर्जन को माया. सूर शाम शरण आए सफल की जय सेवा सूर शाम शरण आए सफल की जय सेवा. माता जाके पार्वती पिता महादेवा. जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा माता जाके पार्वती पिता महादेवा. जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा माता जाके पार्वती पिता महादेवा. माता जाके पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता जाके पार्वती पिता महादेवा.
Om Gandham Pushpam Sugandhethil Dupam Deepam Naivedyam Akhandaritu Achmanim Samarpayami. Take a red flower in your hand. And devotees, we join together as we offer our final prayers, our final pratana to Lord Ganesh. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabham Anirviganam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvadam. Om Raksha Raksha Ganadhaksha Rakshatrelokya Rakshakara Bhaktanam Bhayam Kartha Trata Bhava Bhavaranavar. Om Shriman Mahaganadipataye Namah. Prem se bolo Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. Place your flower now. Go ahead and take a white flower in your hand next. And devotees, we join together as we offer prayers to that mother of knowledge, learning and wisdom and music. We offer prayers to Mother Saraswati. Om Saraswati Mahabhagi Vidye Kamala Lochine Vidyarupe Vishalakshi Vidham Dehi Namostute. Om Saraswati Namastobhyam Varare Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sadam Siddhiram bhavatu me sada. Om Mahasaraswati Namaham. Go ahead and take your flower, place it down right in front of Mother Saraswati right here. Take a pink flower in your hand next. And then take the lighter from Tejas. You're going to take that and light this diya right here as we offer prayers to that mother of light in this universe, that mother of prosperity and wealth. We offer prayers to Lakshmi Mata. Go ahead. Om Lakshmi Karotu Kalyanam Arogyam Dana Sampada Mama Shatru Vinashaya Deepa Jyotir Namostute Om Namastayastu Mahamai Shri Pite Sarapujate Shanka Chakra Gara Haste Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Namaste Garura Rudhe Ola Sura Bhayankari Sarva Papa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Sarvagye Sarvavarade Sarvadushta Bhayankari Sarva Dukha Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayani Mantramurti Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Madhyantarhate Devi Adi Shakti Maheshwari Yoghangja Yogha Sambhote Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Stula Sukshma Maharodre Mahashakti Mahodare Mahapapa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Padmasanaste Devi Parabrahma Swarupini Paramishi Jagane Mathara Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Shvetambardhari Devi Nana Lankari Bhushate Jagatasthite Jagane Mathar Mahalakshmi Namostute Mahalakshmi Namostute Om Mahalakshmi Namaham. Place your flower in front of the diya and then take a yellow flower in your hand as we join together devotees and offering praise to the universal mother and that destroy all evils underneath. We offer prayers to Adi Shakti Durga Mata. Jayandhi Mangala Kali Bhandra Kali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute Jai Tom Devi Chamunde Jai Putharate Niharini Jai Sarvagathe Devi Padaratri Namostute Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Vishnu Maiti Shamnitha Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Lakshmi Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shraddha Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Tushti Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Daya Rupena Sanstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. As we pray to Mother Durga devotees, we say, O Durga Mata, Thou art the universal mother and we, your children, worship you in many forms. O Ma, we see you as Buddhi, wisdom, Lakshmi, prosperity, Shakti, energy, Shraddha, faith, Shanti, peace, Tushti, contentment, and Daya, compassion. And as we pray to you, O Ma, Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah. As we pray to you, O Ma, we bow to thee again and again. Devotees, we offer praise to Mother Durga in the form of the Universal Mother, Matri Rupe. Ya Devi Sarvam Bhuteshu, Matri Rupena Sansita, Namastasye, Namastasye, Namastasye Namo Namah. Dehi Saubhagyam Arogyam, Dehi me paramam sukham Rupam nehi jayam nehi Yasho nehi vashojahi. At this time, devotees, I ask that the Kirtan group offer 2 bhajans dedicated to the Universal Mothers as we commence with our puja.
अपने रंग में रंग लो हे माँ दुर्गे, तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो हे माँ दुर्गे, तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो हे माँ दुर्गे, हे माँ मिथ्या है, सब मिथ्या है, तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो हे माँ दुर्गे, तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो हे माँ दुर्गे, 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 तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो हे माँ दुर्गे, तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो हे माँ दुर्गे, माँ तेरे नाम से है जीवन, सुख हारा सब ही तुहा है, इस धरती से उस अंबर तक जो भी श्रृंगार है वो भी तू है, रंग रंगीले रंग से माँ रंगी जीवन सबके, माना भी तेरे सबसे उत्तम रचना, माना ही तेरे सबसे उत्तम रचना, उत्तम रचना, उत्तम रचना, उत्तम रचना, उत्तम रचना, तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो हे माँ दुर्गे, तुम अपने रंग में रंग लो हे माँ दुर्गे, 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 हे माँ दुर्गे।
प्रेम से बोलो सरस्वती माता की जय, प्रेम से बोलो लक्ष्मी माता की जय, प्रेम से बोलो आदि शक्ति दुर्गा माता की जय. Take take a red definitely, and then like 2 other colors. And devotees, we join together now, so we offer prayers and obediences to the most influential beings in our life. We offer prayers to the Navgraha Devatas, we refer to them in English, the 9 planets. Om Navgraha Devataya Namaha. Bharam Murari Tripurari Hari Bhanush Shibhume Sutu Buddhascha Guruscha Shukraha Shanirahu Ketoa Sarve Graha Shanti Karam Bhavantu Sarve Graha Shanti Karam Bhavantu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah.
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 Suryaya Namah Chandramaya Namah.
Suryaya Namah Chandramaya Namah.
Chandramaya Namah Bhumaya Namah.
Chandramaya Namah Bhumaya Namah.
Bhumaya Namah Buddhaya Namah.
Bhumaya Namah Buddhaya Namah.
Buddhaya Namah Brihaspataya Namah.
Buddhaya Namah Brihaspataya Namah.
Brihaspataya Namah Shukraya Namah.
Brihaspataya Namah Shukraya Namah.
Shukraya Namah Shanisharaya Namah.
Shukraya Namah Shanisharaya Namah.
Shanisharaya Namah Suryaya Namah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah.
Suryaya Namah. Bhaskaraaya Namah.
Suryaya Namah. Bhaskaraaya Namah.
Bhaskaraaya Namah. Adityaya Namah.
Bhaskaraaya Namah. Divyaya Namah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Suryaya Namah.
As we continue on with our prayers to the Navgraha Devata devotees, with today being Sunday, also known as Ravivar, we offer prayers and obediences to that being that exists in the form of the sun and that sustainer of all life on this planet. We offer prayers to Surya Narayan. Om Suryaya Namaha. 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 Harideva Namastubhyam Prasidham Mama Bhaskaram Bhivakar Namastubhyam Prabhakar Namostubhyam Suryaya Namaha. Suryaya Namaha. Suryaya Namaha. Suryaya Namaha. Om Prem Saburo Navgraha Devata ki jai. Prem Saburo Surya Narayana Bhagavan ki jai. Place your flower down in front of Surya Narayana Bhagavan. Okay. And take 2 yellow and 1 white flower, a pink and a red. And devotees, we join together at this time to offer obediences to that sustainer of all things dharmic in this universe. We offer praise to Lord Vishnu. Om Shantakaram Bhujaghishayaram Padmanabham Surisham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Meghabaranam Shubhagam Om Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayaram Yogibhiradhyanagamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokekanatham Om Sashankha Chakram Sakirita Kundhalam Sapita Vastram Sarasiruhechanam Sahara Vakshastala Shombhastubhashriyam Namami Vishnu Shirasa Chaturabhujam Namami Vishnu Shirasa Chaturabhujam. We continue by offering prayers to the 7th incarnation of Lord Vishnu. We offer obediences to Lord Rama. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vidhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sithaya Pataye Namah. We offer prayers to Mother Sita. Om Jagatsutha Jagajanani Janaki Atashaya Priya Karunani Ranaki Dhake Chokapada Kamala Manao Jasu Kripa Nirmala Matipao. We offer praise to Hanuman Swami. Om Manojavam Marutatuyavengam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Nirayuttamukyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapati Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapati. And finally, devotees, we join together as we offer prayers to the 8th incarnation of Lord Vishnu. We offer prayers to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Om Hararvinde Nabhararvindham Mukharvinde Vinivishrayantam वत्तस्य पत्रस्य पूर्तिश्रयानं बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि ॐ कृष्णवासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः मुखं करोति वाक्शालं भङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् ॐ वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. At this time, devotees are requested that we have 2 to 3 bhajans dedicated to Lord Vishnu, his incarnations, Lord Mother Sita Ram Swami, as we commence with our puja of friend.
Kamala Raghunandana, Kamala Raghunandan, Kamala Raghunandana, Kamala Raghunandana, Bando Charanaya, Bando Charana, Kamala Raghunandan, Bando Charana, Kamala Raghunandan, Kamala Raghunandan, Kamala Raghunandan, Kamala Raghunandan, Kamala Raghunandan, Bando Charanaya, Bando Charana, Kamala Raghunandan. Jiniki sakala sukha sampati, Jiniki kripa, Jiniki kripa sakala sukha sampati, Pavata jana bhakana ura chandan, Pavata jana bhakana ura chandan, Bando charanaya bando charana kamala raghunandan, Bando charana kamala raghunandan, Kamala raghunandan, Kamala raghunandan. Avatapuri Prabhu Nitya Birajata, Avatapuri Prabhu Nitya Birajata, Janaka Suta Yuta Dushta Nikandan, Janaka Suta Yuta Dushta Nikandana, Bando Charanaya Bando Charana Kamala Raghunandan. Bhaktana Mata Charana Me Bhagavana, Bhaktana Mata Charana Me Bhagavana, Kripa Kare Sevaka Bhaya Banjana, Kripa Kare Sevaka Bhaya Banjana, Bando Charanaya Bando Charana Kamala Raghunandan, Bando Charana Kamala Raghunandan, Kamala Raghunandan, Kamala Raghunandan, Kamala Raghunandan, Kamala Raghunandan, Bando Charana Kamando Charana Kamala Raghunandan. Bando charana kamala raghunandan, Kamala raghunandan, Kamala raghunandan, Kamala raghunandan, Kamala raghunandan. Sita Ram kaho, Radhe Shyam kaho, Radhe Shyam kaho, Sita Ram kaho, Sita Ram है सच्चा पिता सारे संसार का राम प्यारा तू ही है रक्षक हमारा तू है सच्चा पिता सारे संसार का राम प्यारा तू ही है रक्षक हमारा चाँद सूरज सितारे बनाए पृथ्वी आकाश पर्वत सजाए चाँद सूरज सितारे बनाए पृथ्वी आकाश पर्वत सजाए अंत पाया नहीं तेरा पाया नहीं परवारा तू ही है रक्षक हमारा तू है सच्चा पिता सारे संसार का सहारा तू ही है रक्षक पंचगण राग सुंदर है गाते जीवन जंतु बिसर है झुकाते पंचगण राग सुंदर है गाते जीवन जंतु बिसर है झुकाते उस सुख में मेला तेरा राम पर चला जो प्यारा तू ही है रक्षक हमारा तू है सच्चा पिता सारे संसार का राम प्यारा तू ही है रक्षक हमारा पापा करना हमसे चुराओ वीरा मांगर हमको चलाओ पापा करना हमसे चुराओ वीरा मांगर हमको चलाओ लगे भक्ति में मर करे संध्या हवन जग सारा तू ही है रक्षक हमारा तू है सच्चा पिता सारे संसार का राम प्यारा तू ही है रक्षक हमारा अपनी भक्ति मेरी मन लगाना कष्ट नंदलाल की सपिताना अपनी भक्ति मेरी मन लगाना कष्ट नंदलाल की सपिताना दुखी करने वालों का डरने वालों का तू सहारा तू ही है रक्षक हमारा तू है सच्चा पिता सारे संसार का राम प्यारा तू ही है रक्षक हमारा तू ही है
ओम प्रेम से बोलो विष्णु भगवान की जय प्रेम से बोलो श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय प्रेम से बोलो सीता माता की जय प्रेम से बोलो हनुमान स्वामी की जय, प्रेम से बोलो कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय. Go to take a white flower in your hand pot. And devotees, we join together now as we offer prayers to that universal Father and that universal Guru. As we offer prayers that destroy all evils in our life and in this universe, we offer obediences. Salute Shiva. Harunavadharam Sansarasaram Bhujagendraharam Saravasantam Hirdayardane Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami.
Janamajadukavinashakalingam Tatat pranamami sada Shivalingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam Brahma murari surarchitalingam Nirmadbhasita shobhitalingam Janamajadukavinashakalingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam Eva puritarvarjitalingam Ramadaham karunakalalingam Ravanadarapavinashanalingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam Sarvasubhanni sulepitalingam Bodhi vivardhanaparanalingam Siddhasurasuravannditalingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam Manakamahamanibushithalingam Panipativeshditashobitalingam Dakshasuyajnavinashanalingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam Pankajahara sushobhitalingam Sanachita papa vinashanalingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam Devanarchita sevitalingam Bhargavabhagi viverachalingam Dinakara koti prabhakaralingam Tat pranamami sada Shivalingam तत्परमात्मलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम्
लिङ्गष्टकं निरं पुण्यं यः पति शिवसन्निधां शिवलोकमवाप्नोति धीरं शिवेन सह मूर्ति ॐ नमः
शिवाय। जय बोला बंडारी शिव हरि, जय बोला बंडारी, जय बोला बंडारी शिव हरि, जय बोला बंडारी, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, सब जग के हितकारी, जय बोला बंडारी शिव हरि, जय बोला बंडारी। निश दिन तेरा ज्ञान करे हम, सिमरे मंत्र तिहारा, हे शिव शंकर मंत्र जगाओ, ओ जगजाला, नमामि शंकर नमामि शंकर, नमामि शंकर नमामि शंकर, कृपा करो त्रिपुरारी, जय बोला बंडारी शिव हरि, जय बोला बंडारी। शंखनंद से सब जगाकर स्वर संगीत बहाया, युग युग से ये श्रीति नाते ऐसा डमरू बजाया, तेरी याद बुला के जग में, तेरी याद बुला के जग में, दुख पावे संसारी, जय बोला बंडारी शिव हरि, जय बोला बंडारी। तेरे नाम एक त्रिशूल तिहारा, तेरा नाम जग पे से जग में मिलता मोक्ति द्वारा, महादेव पर ब्रह्म विदाता, महादेव पर ब्रह्म विदाता, आए शरण तिहारी, जय बोला बंडारी शिव हरि, जय बोला बंडारी, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, सब जब के हितकारी, जय बोला Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Devotees, we offer this next prayer for all those suffering from various illnesses, diseases, injuries, and ailments. We ask that they have a fast, speedy, and full recovery. We also offer a prayer for those transitioning from this world to the next. May their passage be a smooth and tranquil.
Vakam yajame
Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarokamiva bandhanat Mrityurmukshivamamritat Om Trayambakam yajamahe Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarokamiva bandhanat Mrityurmukshivamamritat Om Trayambakam yajamahe Sugandhim pushtivardhanam Urvarokamiva bandhanat Mrityurmukshivamamritat Om Gangarapate Namaha Om Kartikeya Namaha Om Vasuki Namaha Om Nandishwaraya Namaha Om Shri Samsada Shivaya Namaha. Prem se bolo Shiva Shankar Bhagwan ki jai. Devotees, for all of us of our Guru, we offer a prayer to our Guru. If not, we take Lord Shiva any day within our mind. As our universal Gurus, we join together in prayer. Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Deo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Dhyana Moolam Gurur Murti Puja Moolam Gurur Param, Mantra Moolam Gurur Vakyam Moksham Moolam Gurur Kripat, Prem se Guru Gurudeo ki jai. And at this time, devotees, for all those prasad that share our way, such please come forth. Pages, come on. Alright. We hold a prasad in both hands as we offer these following prayers. Agnetam Devam Bhaktimehi Chalam Guru Epsitame Varamne Paratreha Parangatim Om Idam Palam Maya Deva Stapitam Puradastavaham Tena Me Sapalavaptir Bhavat Janmani Janmani Om Sarva Papa Haram Divyam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanam Maya Raktam Girhetam Purushottamam. After you pass out to the altar.
आओ भोग लगाओ प्यारे मोहन 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 बिलिने की बैन सुदाम के तुंडल रुचि रुचि भोग लगाओ प्यारे मोहन आओ भोग लगाओ प्यारे मोहन आओ भोग लगाओ प्यारे मोहन दुर्योधन की मेवा त्यागे दुर्योधन की मेवा त्यागे साग विगुर कर खायो प्यारे मोहन आओ भोग लगाओ प्यारे मोहन आओ भोग लगाओ प्यारे मोहन जो कोई तुमरा भोग लगावे जो कोई तुमरा भोग लगावे सुख संपत्ति कर आओ प्यारे मोहन आओ भोग लगाओ 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 प्यारे मोहन
At this time, devotees, we join together now as we commence enchanting our howling mantras. Om Agni Mire Purohitam Yagyasya Devam Retvajam O Taram Ratna Dhatamam Agni Devaya Namaham. Is it lit? Okay. We make our offerings in the Hawankan. Om Prajapate Swaha
इदं प्रजापतिर्नामम
Om Indraya Swaha
इदम् इन्द्राय इदं नामम
Om Agni Swaha
इदम् अग्नये इदं नामम
Om Somaya
स्वाहा इदं सोमाय इदं नामम
Om Hum Swaha
इदम् अग्नये इदं नामम
Om Bhuva Swaha
इदं वाय इदं नामम
Om Swaha Swaha
इदं सूर्याय इदं नामम
Om Suryaya Namaha
स्वाहा इदं सूर्याय इदं नामम
Om Chandraya Namaha
स्वाहा इदं चन्द्राय इदं नामम
Om Homaya Namaha
स्वाहा इदं भौमाय इदं नामम
Om Buddhaya Namaha
स्वाहा इदं बुधाय इदं नामम
Om Brihaspati Namaha
स्वाहा इदं बृहस्पति इदं नामम
Om Shukraya Namaha
स्वाहा इदं शुक्राय इदं नामम
Om Shanishwaraya Namaha
स्वाहा इदं शनिश्चराय इदं नामम
Om Rahave Namaha.
स्वाहा इरम राहवे इरन्नामम
Om Ketave Namaha.
स्वाहा इरम केतवे इरन्नामम
Om Ganeshaya Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Mahagauriye Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Mahasaraswate Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Mahalakshmiye Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Mahadurgaye Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Guruve Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Brahmane Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Vishnave Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
स्वाहा
Om Ramaya Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Sitaye Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Hanumate Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Krishnaya Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Shivaya Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Namaha.
स्वाहा
Om Sarvebhyo Pitribhyo Namaha. Swadaha. Om Bhuri Bhuva Swa Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhuri Bhuva Swa Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhuri Bhuva Swa Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Take everything together and please stand as we commence with our final offering known as Purnavati. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnata Purnamudachyati Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyati Om Murhanam Nimurajing Kritinyaham Viswanaramrita Jatam Aganim Bhavingvam Samrajantidim Jananamassanapatram Chanendirevam Swaha Om Sarvam Goy Puranagam Swaha Om Sarvam Goy Puranagam Swaha Om Sarvam Goy Puranagam Swaha. We take blessings from Agnira Devataya. Om Tanapagani Sitanma Me Pahi. Om Aryorgani Sadyorme Dehi. Om Varachorgani Si Varachume Dehi. Om Agnayan Vetan Udanam Tanma Pruna. Om Tejwasi Tejumai Dehi. Om Virimasi Virimai Dehi. Om Balamasi Balamai Dehi. Om Ojosi Ojamai Dehi. Om Manyurasi Manyumai Dehi. Om Sahwasi Sahumai Dehi. Om Shanti Rastu Pushti Rastu Vrithi Rastu Tapapram Tatipati Mastu Dviparech Tushpare Sura Shanti Bhavatu Achmanyam. Om Sarva Papaharam Divyam Nyagayam Niramaram Jalam Achmanmayaratam Grihetam Purushotamam. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Prem Samro Niradevata Ki Jai. This time devotees workers, we have one bhajan as we clean up and as we prepare for our sermon for today.
न बजिया वेद क्या देखे, न बजिया वेद क्या देखे, मुझे दिल के बीमारी है, मुझे दिल की बीमारी है, मुझे दिल की बीमारी है। न बजिया वेद क्या देखे, मुझे दिल की बीमारी है, मुझे दिल की बीमारी है, मुझे दिल की बीमारी है। न बजिया वेद सारी बीमारी के, मुझे दिल की बीमारी है, मुझे दिल की बीमारी है। नवजियाँ वेद क्या देखे, अगर दीदार को मेरे मिलावे कभी मुझसे, वो ब्रह्मानंद गुण तेरा, वो ब्रह्मानंद गुण तेरा करूँ मैं यादगारी है। मुझे दिल की बीमारी है, मुझे दिल की बीमारी है। नवजियाँ वेद क्या देखे, मुझे दिल की बीमारी है, 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 मुझे दिल की बीमारी है।
Devotees, before we commence with our sermon for today, we offer praise to Lord Ganesh to remove any obstacles that exist within our mind that prevent us from learning the material today. We offer praise to Mother Saraswati so we can convert this knowledge into wisdom to help aid in our daily lives. And we offer a prayer for our gurus who laid the path before us so we may be able to sit here today to read the beautiful words of Bhagavan. Om Vakratun Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirviganam Kurmi Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Saraswati Namastobhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Dev Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Om Prem Sri Ganesh Bhagwan Ki Jai Prem Sri Saraswati Mata Ki Jai Prem Sri Guru Gurudev Ki Jai. Before we hop into the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, of course, I need to give you all some advice that'll help you with your regular pujas on a daily basis for those of you who choose to do pujas at home. Now, this is something that Mahendra and I can tend to be very particular about. And some people know we're very particular about it, but not everybody does. And that's the use of a diya. Now, in Sanatana Dharma, we use diyas all the time. But there's an appropriate way that they need to be made. So in order for you to make a candle or some sort of light source, what do you need? Fire, okay. What do you need to make the fire? You need ghee, you need a wick, and you need a vessel to hold, and a fuel source, right? Or so a fuel source, an ignition source, and something to maintain that fuel source. Usually, ghee is really just, it's fat, it's cholesterol, it's something that burns consistently. That's science behind it. That's why we use wax and things like oil, because those are chains of fats and polysaccharides that will continuously release energy and burn. So that's what the ghee example's for. But in Sanatana Dharma, we should be using ghee. So I went to a music recital once, and they were making diyas, and nobody knew how to make the diyas. And all of a sudden, this lady pulls out a bottle of canola oil and starts using it to make a diya. Now, from a religious perspective, canola oil is a no-no. But why is canola oil also a no-no when you're trying to make a fire? It's a pretty good oil. It's a pretty good source for fire. It's kind of too good of a source for fire sometimes. You could suffer from a risk. A grease fire is one of those things because of the amount of fats in it. But the bigger reason we don't use canola oil is because it produces a lot of black smoke. There's too much fat inside of canola oil. So when you light those diyas, you see lots of black smoke coming out. Ghee, you will get black smoke. You just won't get a lot. But when we make diyas, Mahendra and I like to make our own wicks. I don't I am personally not a fan of store-bought wicks. That's just me. But if you're going to use a store-bought wick, there's nothing wrong with that. There's two kinds. There's the long strings, and then there's the ones that have the wick with the little ball on the bottom. Now, what a lot of folks tend to do is they tend to stick that ball into some ghee and then light it. And what happens once they light it after the ghee melts, that ball, because it's a ball, falls over. So your diya continuously goes out. And that's a no-no during puja. We don't want diyas going out. So when you're making a diya at home, if you're using the pre-made wicks, if it's that ball, you want to open up the bottom and make it flat. So that way when it sits inside of the diya, when the ghee melts, what happens when it's a flat bottom? It stays flat and won't fall over. That's the first thing. If you're making your own at home, use some cotton balls. Same concept. Never use a whole cotton ball. A whole cotton ball is too much. Rip a cotton ball in half, take the bottom and flatten it out, and then throw me a cotton ball. Visual aids help. Let's not talk theory. Let's talk practice. Okay. So a whole cotton ball, it's too much. What I tend to do is we rip it in half, which is fine. And then the end that's frayed, I leave open. I flatten out the bottom a little bit, and then I take the frayed end, I pull it out, and then I twist it. And what do we have when we're done? A nice wick. How long did that take? Yeah, like 2 seconds. That wasn't a waste of time. I do it this way because once I put the ghee in and I put it inside of the diya, no matter what happens, no matter how much it shakes, no matter how much it moves, no matter what I do with it, it stays flat. And that fire is going to stay up and it's going to stay lit. Now, how do you know? Here's the second question. Because remember, when you light your diya, you don't want it to go out. When this is covered in ghee, how do you know when your diya is lit? How do you know when to move that match away successfully? When you see a fire? When you see a fire, is that your answer? Say it again. When there's a little bit of black on the wick. When you're lighting your diyas, make sure you see the tip turn from yellow to either a brown or to a black color. That's how you ensure that the ember has formed and the diya is going to burn. So you want to make sure that that's there. We have that hesitancy to pull the match away really fast because we think we're going to burn ourselves. But I tell you something right now, fire doesn't hurt you as much as you think it does. It's the main perception of it. So get that little burn on yourself. It's fine. But remember, when you're lighting your diya, that thing has to stay lit. If you light it and then it goes out, you messed up. It's unfortunate, but now you know. We want to do our best to maintain these. That's why I use these gas lighters. Because, one, I have a very low risk of burning myself with the gas lighter. But two, the amount of time it takes for this tip to turn black for that diya to light is very short. So always, always, always flatten your bottoms. This is your two real big learning points. Flatten your bottoms and ensure that that tip turns to a specific color before you out that igniting source. And for me, that's the best way to make a diya. Remember, when we're learning things, we don't know about certain issues or components behind it. Now, I know about this because I've been doing this for, started doing this when I was 8, and I'm like 30-something now, so in the realm of, close to 20-ish years. So we have that experience behind us, and if we don't practice it and learn it, we don't try it. So homework for you for today, just one day a week, just once this week. Make your own diya before you do your puja and use that to do your arti. That's going to ensure two things. One, that you've made, or three things. One, that you made it correct. Two, that you're lighting it correct. Actually, it's really just two things, because if you made it correct, then it's not going to go out. It's not going to fall over when you perform your arti. Everybody's homework this week. Make your own diya and use that in your morning puja or for arti at least once this week. Okay? With that being said, that's your educational lesson for today. Let's move on to, yes, Auntie Drew? You should only be, if you're making a diya for religious purposes, it's got to be pure cow ghee. Not vegetable ghee, pure cow ghee. We can use vegetable ghee to cook, but canola oil, olive oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, whatever other oils are out there, whatever other fuel sources are, butter, don't use those. Use cow ghee only for religious diyas. If you want to make one just for like your home to look pretty, you can use whatever you want. I don't, Mahendra, what does it have as coconut? I'm asking the chef because I don't know. Okay, so Mahendra says no. Probably not better to use it. Some have salt. The organic, virgin coconut oil should have nothing in it, but you still risk, again, when you burn oil, having black smoke and soot come around, and That's not healthy for your lungs, and it's also, I mean, a lot of us have white walls. Nobody wants ash-covered white walls. Which, as a boy, I can tell you that a lot of guys try to do that when they make a bonfire, so never a good idea. Last week, devotees, we had entered into chapter 4 of the Srimad Bhagavat Puran. And in chapter 4, we heard the discourse between Raja Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami. And they had mentioned Bhagavatam Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam Puran,
Bhagavatam Purnam, Srimad Bhagavatam Purnam,
Bhagavatam Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam Puran,
Bhagavatam Purnam, Srimad Bhagavatam Purnam,
Bhagavatam Shri Bhagavatam Srimad Bhagavatam Puran,
Bhagavatam Shri Bhagavatam Srimad Bhagavatam Purnam,
Bhagavatam Shri Bhagavatam Srimad Bhagavatam Puran,
Bhagavatam Shri Bhagavatam Srimad Bhagavatam Purnam,
Bhagavatam Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam Puran,
Bhagavatam Purnam, Srimad Bhagavatam Purnam,
Srimad Bhagavatam Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam Puran. So last week we finished chapter 4, the process of creation. So we were asked about creation. And when Sukadeva Goswami was giving his response, what did he say? What do you all remember? What did he tell Raja Parikshit? Did he start going on about what creation is and how creation works? A lot of you were just looking at me, so I don't really know. No, he didn't just start talking about creation. What did he do before he started talking about creation and the creator? He said his prayers. He offered his obediences. Gold star, Ishan. Good job. He said his obediences and prayers to Brahma, to Bhagwan, asking for their blessings. Because remember, he's no longer talking about Vishnu and Krishna. He's moving on to a different Deva. And when he moved on to a different Deva, he had to offer obediences to that Deva before he could start telling his stories. He put his mind in a mindset where I'm very devoted to who I'm going to be talking about and what I'm going to be saying. So I got to make sure I recognize and show that devotion. So then we move into chapter 5, because that was all chapter 4. He didn't explain creation at all. He just explained his obedience towards that God of creation. So we move into chapter 5. And in chapter 5, we're no longer hearing the discourse between Sukadeva Goswami and Raja Parikshit. We're now hearing about a discourse between two different characters. The God of creation and somebody that we've heard of before, a being who is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and his name is Narad. So we're hearing a story between Narad and Bhagwan. But before he asks Bhagwan the question, he says to him specifically, now remember, if you're talking to God or talking about a specific topic, what do first? You pray, you offer your obediences. He says, my obedience is to you, O God of the demigods, for you are the firstborn from whom all living beings generated. Please explain which knowledge specifically leads to the truth of the soul. What is the form, the basis, and the source of this created world? O Master, how is it conserved by what is controlled and pleased? What is factuality? All this is known by your good self, since you know all that has become, will become, and is becoming. Master, you hold this universe in the grip of your scientific knowledge, like one holds a walnut. I don't know why it's walnut translated, but that's what it is. I questioned that for a little while. What is the source of your wisdom? Who protects you and who is above you? What capacity do you help, with the help of the potency of the soul, on your own create the lives of beings and the elements of matter? O Almighty One, in this world I do not know a single entity having a name, a form, and qualities that is superior, inferior, or equal, of a temporary nature, or lasting forever, which owes its existence to any other source than you. We are wary of the fact that you, with your perfect discipline, underwent several severe penances. With us had the chance to doubt whether your good self would be the ultimate truth, and thus thought of an entity higher than you. O all-knowing ruler over all, please explain to me all that I have asked you, so that I will be of an understanding accordance with your instructions. You know about everything. You created the world. Tell me about this. But he also mentions a word here that I think is very important, that we tend to hear in political arguments a lot, which is the word, you have scientific knowledge of the creation of the world. Scientific knowledge. There's always a separation between what church and religious teaches us versus what science teaches us. But here in the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, we're hearing that science and religion are one and the same. Science and religion are one and the same. You look at some of the old scriptures, some of the stone tablets that are being found in India, and they're describing things that we have in the 21st century. Or you hear the stories from the Mahabharata, the Shri Ram Charitamanas, about flying vehicles and things that move through the air very swiftly, things that we're seeing here now in the 21st century. So science and religion aren't really two separate things. They are connected. We just don't understand either one in the sense that we need to. In order for life to form, we need to have specific elements, specific circumstances created. In order for life to exist on a planet, we need to have certain circumstances fulfilled, or life can't exist. Do you know what they call that in science and astronomy? The perfect area for life to exist at? What the fun term for it is? A Goldilocks system, where everything is perfect, everything is right. Therefore, life can exist because we have the right amount of water, right amount of nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon. So we're hearing that science and the knowledge of God are one and the same. The Creator replies, "O gentle one, so dear to me, you, so very kind, are perfect and right in expressing your doubts. For by that submission and penance, I was led to consider the heroism and power of the Supreme Lord. My son, you are not mistaken in what you just said about your description of me, because without knowing the Supreme beyond me, I will certainly be so that it seems that the greatness all belongs to me. All of the world that I create was created from the effulgence of his existence. Just like it is with fire, the sun, moon, and planets, the stars that radiate from his effulgence. I bring him my obediences, the Supreme Lord Vasudeva, upon whom I meditate, by dint of whose inconceivable potencies one calls me the teacher, guru of the world." So I created the world not by my own fruition, but by the blessings and the resources that Bhagwan Vishnu, or as he says right here, Vasudeva, has provided to me. If I want to build a house today, can I just walk outside and build it right in the parking lot? No, why not? Why can't I go build a house right now? What? There was a lot of responses. Somebody went early, but you need a permit. You got to get that. Well, that's true. That is true. You got to get a plan. I get a permit. But if I walked outside right now, what stops me from building a house? Supplies? Who said supplies? The government. Yeah. Supplies. How can I build something? How can I create something? How can I manifest something if I don't have the supplies to do it? So even though Brahma is known as a universal creator, he can't create something out of nothing. He still needs to be provided those supplies. So he's recognizing the fact that, yes, while people don't believe in me sometimes, it's true because they don't see what I've truly done. But they also have to recognize that the reason I am what I am today is because the things I used to build the universe were granted to me by Vasudeva. I was able to control and create this world with his presence, his omnipotence, his essentially essence. The basic ingredients of matter and their interaction with the eternal time and the natural disposition of the living being are certainly part of Vasudeva, O Brahman, but the truth is that each of these agents separately has no value. Individually, they have no value. The cause and purpose of the Vedas is Narayana. The demigods are helping the hands of Narayana. The worlds exist for the sake of Narayana, and all sacrifices are there to please Narayana. Concentration of mind is just there to know Narayan. Austerity is there only to achieve Narayan. The culture and transcendence is there just to become aware of him. And the progress of the path of salvation is there only to enter the kingdom of Narayan. Inspired by his vision and what was created by him, the seer, the controller, the sustainability, the stability, and the super soul of all who also created me, I create as well. So individually, everything in this world has just no value to it. There's no value to everything individually. It's when there's a collective, when there's a group of things, when things are put together, that there's true value. Go ahead, yeah. when you're putting a puzzle together, let's say you get rid of all the pieces except for one, you put it on the table. Is that going to be visually appealing to you? Just that one piece? No, not. I mean, somebody said yes. I'm sure somebody may like that. But if I'm doing a 1,000-piece puzzle and I put one piece and I throw the other 999 pieces away, there's no value to me on that table anymore. It just looks plain and boring. But what happens when we take every single one of those pieces and put them together? It looks nice. We get to see the bigger picture. You see the analogy there? That's what we call a metaphor. Not a simile. Simile uses like and whatever the other word is. Like as. Thank you. Middle school knowledge. Dropping a bomb. All the pieces put together show us the entire picture. So where is Bhagwan? What does Bhagwan exist out of? Everything. Brahma created this world using that manifestation of Narayan. It's important for us as humans, because we learn this kind of methodology when we do things like lean training, agile training. We look to see how we need to visualize the process or the work that needs to be done. So when you're focusing on a full process, what do you need to do before you fix the process? If something's broken, what do you need to do to understand, to fix it? You have to find out what broke. But you also have to understand the entirety of the process first. This is me giving you guys black belt training in Lean Six Sigma, so pay attention because this will help you in the future. Lean Six Sigma, it's ways for us to make processes simpler and make our lives easier so we don't have issues in the future. In order for you to fix a process, you've got to understand the process. Even if the process is broken, you've got to understand it from beginning to end. Can you fix a car without knowing how a car works? Somebody said yes. That's a strong answer. I look at it this way. Uncle Chris, if you're going to hire somebody to work at your shop, are you going to hire somebody who's never worked with trucks, vehicles, or had that experience in their entire life? So the answer is no. If I'm going to bring somebody onto my team, I need somebody who's trained in understanding processes and seeing the big picture, because you can't fix the individual components if you can't see the big picture. We tend to see a problem and want to fix it immediately, but we don't understand what the problem is first. Your first lesson for the first half of this chapter, devotees, actually we're not even halfway through, we're a third of the way through, is to understand that individual components have no value unless you put them together. Once you understand the big picture, then you understand the value of the individual, but also how that relates back to the soul. So if we think about it from the perspective of Bhagwan, Bhagwan is here, Bhagwan is there, Bhagwan is everywhere. The reason this world exists in its entirety is so we are constantly reminded that everything that we see around us, everything that we touch around us, consume, move, everything we feel around us is the potency and the creation of Bhagwan. He is there everywhere. So don't forget the big picture, because sometimes we tend to forget about that. We focus on ourselves and our own lives and our small little, minute fraction of time that we're in. We forget to remember the big picture of what we're doing, why we're here, what's our purpose, what's our goal. That may change every day, but remember, at the end of it all, there's a big picture we have to attain. What is that big picture for us? I don't know. I don't know what it is for me. I don't know what my bigger goal in this world is. None of us will, but we also have to remember that we're meant for more than just what we're doing right here, right now, at this very second. That's your learning lesson for today. Prem se Bolo Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. With that being said, devotees, may we all please stand for final arti.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakt Jano ke sankat Bhakt Jano ke sankat Shan mein dur kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare Jo dwave pal paave Dukh vinase man ka Swami dukh vinase man ka Sukh sampati ghar aave सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, कष्ट मिटे तन का। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। मात पिता तुम मेरे, शरण कहो जिसकी, स्वामी शरण कहो किसकी। तुम बिन और न दूजा, तुम बिन और न दूजा, आस करो जिसकी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम पूर्ण परमात्मा, तुम अंतर्यामी, स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी। पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, तुम सबके स्वामी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता, स्वामी तुम पालन करता। मैं मूर्ख कलकामी, मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी, कृपा करो भरता। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम हो एक गोचर, सबके प्राणपति, स्वामी सबके प्राणपति। किस विध मिलो दया में, किस विध मिलो दया में, तुमको मैं कुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता, तुम रक्षक मेरे, स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे। अपने हाथ उठावो, अपने हाथ उठावो, द्वार परा तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा, स्वामी पाप हरो देवा। श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, संतन के सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तन मन धन सब कुछ तेरा, स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा। तेरा तुझको अर्पण, तेरा तुझको अर्पण, क्या लागे मेरा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। जय जगदीश हरे। स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, भक्त जनों के संकट, क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। गोविंद गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो। गोविंद गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो। 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 राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा ओ राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो राधा रमन हरि गोपाल बोलो राधा रमन हरि गोपाल बोलो श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा कृष्ण गोविंद हरि मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
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 हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
Go ahead and take a flower in your hand, Pop. And at this time, devotees, I ask that we all join together now as we clasp our hands. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax your spine. Drop your shoulders. Relax your neck, your forehead, and your entire body. With your eyes closed, devotees, I want you to focus on a form of Bhagwan that's most pleasing to you. One that helps you concentrate, one that helps you focus and join together with you. As we chant our prayers and prayers. Om Sarvesham Swasti Bhavatu Sarvesham Shanti Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Om Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu Sarve Santu Niramayam Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschita Dukabhag Bhavet Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktahinam Janardanam Yatya Pujatam Maya Deva Paripurnam Harastu Me Papoham Papo Karmaham Papo Atma Papo Sambhava Trahimam Bundari Kaksham Sarva papo haro hari. Om Tvameva Matas Shapita Tvameva. Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva. Tvameva Vidyadravinam Tvameva. Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Asutoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mritoma Mritamyamaya. Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Devotees, may we all please bow. Om Gurura Brahma Gurura Vishnu Gurura Deva Maheshwara Gurura Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Dhyav Shantir Antarikshagvam Shantir Prithvi Shantir Apa Shantir Aushadheya Shantir Vanaspati Shantir Vishwadeva Shantir Brahma Shantir Sarvegvam Shantir Shanti Deva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Prem se bolo Ganesh Bhagwan ki. Prem se bolo Adi Shakti Durga Mata ki. Prem se bolo Vishnu Bhagwan ki. Prem se bolo Shiva Shankar Bhagwan ki. Prem se bolo Shiva Shakti Mandir ki. Prem se bolo Sanatana Dharma ki. Good job, everyone. And with this, devotees, we have come to the end of our Sunday. Sorry, my watch just said you hit your noise threshold. You're in a too loud of an environment. So that's a good job. If my watch goes off, that we know we did a good job. But thank you all for being here today as we do our Sunday morning satsang. Again, today being January 22nd, 2023. I'm just going to check the YouTube to see if anybody has chatted. I'm sure there's a few folks. To Auntie Drew, JC Taram, to Auntie Zandra as well, to Auntie Zandra who's in there as well, JC Taram, to you both. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the other 13 folks who may be watching, and for those of you here in person, thank you as well. Just a few announcements in regards to the Mandir calendar. Again, for those of you who haven't gotten the 2023 calendar, like the physical copy that you can put up at home, we still have a good number in the back, so please feel free to take some for yourselves, for your family members, for anybody who may have them. Mahendra's pointing at them. I thought he was pointing at the vacuum cleaner. So those are there. The sign-up sheet's also in the back, devotees. We still have a lot. There's 52 weeks in the year, plus all the other additional services we have. So if you hadn't had a time to sign up for a Sunday morning service, I recommend you do so. And I say it with wholehearted intent of, like, I get bored when there's nobody here. And I promise I'm not, like, a bad person. Was this terrible for you? No, see? Padmini says it was great. She had the time of her life. She didn't really say that. So please sign up for a service in the back if you haven't done so. In regards to some upcoming dates, Wednesday, January 25th, devotees, is known as Basant Panchami. It's also Saraswati Jayanti. It'll be the day we do a planting of Holika. We won't be doing that here specifically. I have something at home that I'll be planting in regards to the entirety of the Mandir. But if you have a plant like a castor oil plant, tulsi plant, or anything at home that you want to plant, for the most part, for the planting of Holy, you do that. Again, that is Wednesday, January 25th. And that will lead us into Holy, which will be in March. I'll give you some announcements for that a little bit later on. And then Saturday, February 18th, again, that is Saturday, February 18th at 1 p.m. here in the Mandir. We will be celebrating our Mahashivratri Puja. We're doing that on 1 o'clock just so everybody has time to get here. People can have lunch, and that way when you get home, it's not dark. And additionally, on the 19th of February, Sunday, February 19th, we will not be meeting in person for Sunday morning service. That'll be done virtually just to give everybody a break and to reduce on the amount of travel that we all have to deal with. So again, Saturday, February 18th at 1 o'clock, Mahashivratri Puja here in the Mandir. And then Sunday, the 19th, will be Sunday morning service virtually, not in person. And then, of course, we have some dates coming up in March. As a quick reference, I wanted to thank Uncle Chris for purchasing the new camera that we have that's installed in the Mandir. Some of you may have noticed it moves on its own sometimes. It's actually helped. Mahendra and I got it set up, so thank you, Uncle Chris. we got it set up so now we can hit buttons and not actually have to get up and move it and walk in between the singers, the kirtan group, and everybody else. So it's been a big help. We are setting up things a little bit further. There are going to be some other enhancements we're making to the Mandir in regards to some structural changes. So just be aware and prepared for that. I don't have my father's book, so I don't know if anybody celebrated birthdays or anniversaries. Is there anybody who celebrated a birthday or an anniversary in the last week that we haven't announced? I announced it last week, but I'm going to announce it again because she's sitting here. Any birthdays or anniversaries in the last week? Well, the week before last, Padmini celebrated her birthday. I did text her on her birthday date because I remember. That's good. Thanks. And so she's here today sitting down. She has been making strides as an adult, as we all have been, when it comes to housing situations, moving around, and wait till you buy your own house. That'll be its own little ordeal. But happy birthday. Thank you so much for sitting down. We'll have you sit over there to throw some flowers on you. Just requesting that somebody have their birthday song ready, as we're going to be ending here in a few moments. And then in regards to one last announcement that I want to make, devotees, there's certain things that we had performed in this Mandir on a regular basis that we over time have stopped performing, and over the next few months and weeks we're going to get back into it. So it's going to be things like offering attar or perfume to everybody in the audience, getting some ashes from the Hawan Kund and placing it on everybody's foreheads. There's certain rituals that we need to perform as a community that we haven't been performing. We've dropped off the radar on that. I'm going to make sure we pick it back up. So as we get through the next few weeks, I will be calling on additional volunteers to help collect some of that stuff, share those things at the end of service. But I wanted to make sure you all are aware that I want us to get back into the rhythm that we were when we first started at this temple, which was doing arti, sharing panchamrit, doing attar, offering things for blessings for the forehead, and strings for those who need them at the end of service. So we will be getting back into that. But with that being said, devotees, I have no further announcements and nothing left for today. I want to thank you all for being here and for tuning in with us as we perform puja, which is again today, the 22nd of January. I will pass the microphone over. Do you have some announcements? Oh. Yes. But can I get your name again? Sorry? Sri Lanka? Okay. Well, Sri Lanka is here today to perform some yoga with the members of the community for those who'd like to perform after we're done with service or after we're done with everything here. Again, it's the same thing that we did last week when it was the yoga related to Surya Narayan Bhagwan and Makar Sankranti. So it's going to be different today. But for anybody who'd like to join in, again, it's going to be right here in the temple as soon as we're done. Again, you all have a happy, fantastic week, and I'll see you next Sunday for our regular Sunday morning satsang. Jai Sita Ram to you all. Ishan said that he loves you guys. He loves you all. And Jack really loves you all.
बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिन ये गाए, बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिन ये गाए, तू जिए हजारों साल, ये मेरी है आरज़ू. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Jasmine. Happy birthday, Padmini. Happy birthday to you. बेकरार को है तामलूम किसका, क्या मिसाल दूँ मैं तेरी, नामलूम किसका. नहीं नहीं ऐसा हंसी कोई नहीं है, जब से नजर रुक जाए बेमिसाल Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Padmani. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday